This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
What is going on? Minnesota Vikings are loading up, and from what it's looking like, the North is ours. Hell of a free agency. Super excited to be on the winning end of free agency. We've spent the most money out of the majority of the teams, and usually a team that spends the most in free agency usually doubles their win totals compared to the last season. If you don't believe me, look it up. It's a proven fact. It was even shared on NFL Network. But Vikings, brought in Jonathan Allen, Javon Hargrave, Ryan Kelly, Will Fries, traded for Jordan Mason, brought in Rondale Moore, brought in Isaiah Rodgers, brought in Jeff Okudah. I mean, win-win all around. Win-win. No more Aaron Rodgers talk. So this is also a great thing. Moving forward now, we officially are in the J.J. McCarthy era.
What's up, Darren?
What's up, John? What's your thoughts on 2025 Vikings in the J.J. McCarthy era?
Well, I just got off the other show. They had an open mic maybe about 10, 15 minutes ago, and Tim Isaacson said that he doesn't really believe in J.J. McCarthy. He said that he doesn't have a strong arm, but
he's the only Michigan fan that says that.
Right. He Tim was saying if you have a good offensive line, J.J. McCarthy can ball. But if you don't have a good, but I guess that's most quarterbacks. If you don't have a good offensive line,
yeah, that's going to be majority of your quarterbacks. I mean, you don't have protection. I mean, prime example. Look at the Bears with Justin Fields.
Yeah,
he didn't have the protection. He got fucked up a lot.
Right. And then, that's one of the things I kind of hinted, because last season we saw J.J. McCarthy play like one quarter, I think, during the preseason. He looked actually good. But I guess that's preseason. You really want to see how they do against starters. So,
right.
But it was a good sign. It wasn't anything where, like, he struggled, against, like, secondary or the third stringers. He didn't, I mean, he didn't look bad at all. So. I mean, he's gonna be throwing to Jalen Naylor, Jordan Addison, Justin Jefferson, T.J. Hawkinson, Aaron Jones. Sometimes, I mean, he's gonna be throwing some guys. So, I don't entirely, go about what Tim says because, also too, as we see, Vikings seem to really do good with quarterbacks. Look what we did with Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold looks like a bust and a bum.
Right. I'm
a
intrigued.
top 5 quarterback.
Right. And I'm intrigued to see what really they can do with JJ. I already know that he's gonna be having that mindset that he needs to just go out there like this season and show what he's got and prove to the world that there's a reason why we took him at number 10. I'm just more concerned about who do we go with as our backup, because right now we ain't got no fucking backup.
Correct.
And that's still up in the air.
We got what's that guy's name? What's that guy's name?
Sloppy.
Slop.
Yeah, he went to Darcy's Pee Wee Academy.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Oh, you fucking sloppy.
Oh, fucking Darren. Fucking Sully. Transgenders. Fucking holy slappy. But I guess also too, we have to figure out what we're gonna do with our quarterback situation backup wise. It'd definitely be good to have a good backup. I mean, they were talking on the show about how Aaron Rodgers wanted like 3 years, 100 million or something like that. And I'm glad the Vikings didn't jump at that because no disrespect to Aaron Rodgers, but he's an older guy. He's physically declined. He's injury prone.
You know what I think is funnier is the fact that not only does he want the 3 years and 100 million, but even like the fucking with the Giants and the fucking Steelers, they're like haven't even offered him anything yet. They're just like, let's just let the fucking clown come here and meet with us, take his tour for the 15th time. I mean, he's already seen the restroom. He's already fucking seen the practice field. He's already seen the cafeteria. It's like, dude, at this point, you're just pulling strings and wasting time. So it's like,
yes.
You should have an idea of what you want to do. But to go into 2025, having playing like shit coming off of your Achilles injury, because his first year with the Jets, I'm not going to put that all on him, but right when he fucking came back, and then he was just like, "Oh, Devontae, want to come play with me?" They didn't fucking do shit, and he looked like shit. So it's like, what makes you think that you're worth fucking 3 years, $100 million? Not only that, not a lot of teams are willing to fucking pay for a guy his age on the decline.
Correct. And then also too, seems like he gets
he's already
coaches,
getting paid.
He's getting coaches fired. I mean, he got the Jets coach fired.
Robert Saleh.
Yep.
He was a good coach too. I liked him.
Yeah. You got McCarthy fired. I mean,
yep. He got his fat tub of lard fired. The guy that he won his only ring with.
I know.
That's some backstabbing shit right there, man.
That is. I mean, he was responsible for Greg Jennings being let go by the Packers. I mean, I remember hearing the story about that.
And then Greg Jennings ended up becoming a Viking.
Right. So he's definitely got a little diva attitude.
Not even that. Even James Jones has talked about him.
Here's just another thing.
But he talks like both sides of it, like the good and the bad.
But here's something to really think about. He's been in the league for 20 years. He was drafted in 2005. My memory serves me right.
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, this will be his 20th year. I mean, he's played for like what 17, 18 years. So I mean, well, I guess you can't say last season because 3 snaps and that was it. He was gone. So
it would be different if we're sitting here talking about he wanted 3 years, $100 million, and he was the fucking MVP.
Or if he won like maybe 2 or 3 Super Bowls, and he just won a Super Bowl maybe about a year and a half ago or 2 years ago, then yeah.
Or granted that he has the 1 Super Bowl, but has continued to play at a high level and be consistent and then have multiple MVPs, I'd be like, okay.
Yeah, but I mean that hasn't been the case. He's declined since 2022. I mean,
Since he left
2020,
Green Bay.
2021. Yeah, 2021. Actually, let me phrase
Yeah,
that.
since he departed from Dairyland.
Well, even then, what was it? 2022. He started off really poor, and then they got hot towards the end, but then lost and then make the playoffs. Remember, that was the year that Devontae Adams he had without Devontae Adams. So he had all rookie wide receivers, and
Oh yeah,
yeah,
all wide receiver threes. Remember that, John?
that's right. What do you think? What do you think the Vikings would do in the draft? You think we're going to go offensive line? How do you see this all playing
I
out?
think if you decide that you're not gonna trade up or trade down, I think if you stay at 24, I'd say you take the best player available. But I'm hoping that we don't fucking go wide receiver if that's the case. I'm hoping you go either corner, safety, I'd say guard, or defensive tackle.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. I mean, we did get the guy from well, he played in Houston. The guy used to play for Detroit. What was that
Jeff
guy's name?
Okuda?
Jeff. Yeah. I keep thinking Okuma Matata. I don't know why he's got a funny last name, but Jeff Okuda,
Well,
is that his name?
I mean, when he got drafted, he used to sing that all the time in the locker room.
Did he? Okay.
He really thought he was the part of the Kings of the Jungle.
But I mean, he's got a unique last name. But Steve was saying like if we put him at safety, that would probably be a strong point for him. I don't
And
know
then
if they're going to do that.
if he wants to maintain his health because he's had a string of injuries.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I look for Flores to help him revive his career.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's going to benefit him is being with a coach like Brian Flores.
Right.
Well, why me? Why me? Why me?
Hey.
I'm really excited for this Aaron Jones and Jordan Mason pair up.
Yes, that's actually I'm excited to see that too. Mason was actually decent in San Fran, so I mean,
I'm excited that we got him for what we got him for.
mm-hmm.
Which to me ain't fucking nothing.
So Cam Akers is gone, correct?
Yes.
Cam Akers gone. Is Chandler gone too?
No.
He's still around. Okay. Well, that's
I say what would be funnier is we draft a really solid running back at 24, have as our third running back, and we tell Chandler like, you're gonna have to battle it out in fucking preseason. Otherwise, at the end of training camp and preseason, you're gonna be on the fucking practice squad.
yeah. Remember, we drafted Dwayne McBride. Was it Dwayne McBride? And
Yeah, and then he didn't pan out.
Yeah, he didn't. He didn't.
But I'm more pissed at the fucking guy that we drafted out of Iowa State that we had as our returner.
Kane Aswa, whoever his name was.
Yeah. Dude was hella fast. Fucking great returner. He returned some for touchdowns, and we get rid of him, and now he's a fucking jet.
Stop it! Oh.
Yeah.
And then now our patch up for that position is fucking Brandon Powell. Fucking old, really fucking slow, no fucking speed. It's like, dude, you just like take the air and the life right out of that position because it's like that's the position and it's like it gets your adrenaline going because you're just expecting someone to just take off like full fucking speed, man, like a fucking hot rod.
Yeah.
But you look back there and it's like there's a fucking Volkswagen back there that's fucking about to fucking break down.
That's true, but also too, I mean, the kickoff return, the new kickoff return thing is that really. I mean, I hope they go. I hope they go back. I hope they get rid of that because the kickoff return thing it sucked. I didn't like it.
Hey man, all we need is a Percy Harvin type guy back there, and they'll be able to unlock the cheat code of this new return system, man.
Right? Yeah, you need a Percy Harvin or like
Or a Cordell Patterson, or Devin Hester,
or Deion Sanders,
or a Ed Reed, because remember he used to return punts.
right?
I mean, Darren Sproles too, man. I mean, Deshaun Jackson.
Yep.
We need a really fucking fast guy.
Rod Woodson. Yep.
Yeah. Or you know, Isaac Miles Sr. would say, turpentine.
Come on, fam. Come on, fam. Oh shit.
Well, I mean, the bright side of this situation is we're not looking like Jerry Jones and them boys.
Yeah, we're not. Or even Cordell Patterson. Remember, Cordell Patterson was a really solid kick returner. So I mean, definitely, that dude you were just talking about definitely filled in those shoes right there, and we let him go. I don't know.
Hey, I mean, if he's still out there, I mean, we should give him a rank.
Yeah. You said he's in New York now, or that's where he went last season.
No, I was talking about the guy from Iowa State that we had that's now in New York. But I don't know where Cordell is right now.
Oh yeah, Cordell. Yeah, I get what you're saying now. Okay. Yeah, I know.
But I think that's the only element really outside of left guard, and so for me, I'd say the only missing links on this team is left guard, corner, safety, and or a wide receiver 3. Because I'm trying to build this team up like the wide receiver room. I need to see fucking 3 deep 2.0.
So you think Naylor's not a good 3 receiver?
I mean, he was a good fill-in guy last year when Addison was out. But I think he, you know, he's still at that stage where he's still developing into eventually to be in that role.
Right.
Which, I mean, granted, before last season, I mean, you didn't really see much of him. Just that one touchdown he had, and then getting banged up. So, I mean, that was a big fucking leap forward for him last season.
Yeah, it was. I think the first 4 games he had scored touchdowns, and then then he went on a drought. Then he didn't catch one until like the Packers game, I believe, the second Packers game. So I mean,
that's a good upside. I mean, he's got the speed, he's got the hands.
oh yeah,
I mean, obviously, you know, he's dedicated. Learns well. Just the matter of staying healthy and learning from your mistakes.
right. And then when you get the opportunity to take advantage of it, shine in the opportunities.
Right. See, I think it's gonna help having Rondell Moore. That guy, when he's healthy, you can use him as a gadget player. I mean, that's like fucking Percy Harvin 2.0. Which he's another Big Ten guy. He went to Purdue.
That's the problem. I don't know much about college. I think you know a lot more
He
about
played
college than I do.
so his first season he got drafted by Arizona, and I mean he looked good in Arizona under Kingsbury, who's now in Washington as the OC with Daniels and all them weapons. So I mean, if if KLC's got like a thing worked in with him, like if he's gonna be our slot guy, I mean, or use him as a gadget guy, I'm all for that.
Yeah.
You know, just as long as it helps Jefferson and Addison from getting doubled and fucking tripled. I mean, somebody's got to get open.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt.
Because I mean, even they're finding ways to fucking double Hawkinson. So it's just like somebody's got to get open.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you also need the offensive line to give the quarterback
Right.
protection so he can find the open receivers. At the same time, the quarterback needs to identify it. And Sam Darnold did really well last season identifying it. He
Right.
did a good job. So,
And I mean, it's like I was telling people outside of our fan base. They're like, I don't understand why you guys are getting rid of Sam Darnold. That's gonna hurt you. No, it's not. No, it's not. I mean, yeah, it could, but if the Vikings didn't have faith in this kid, you would have already seen them had somebody lined up. They would have kept the backups if they didn't have faith in this kid. If they didn't see something in him to persuade them that he wasn't the guy, you would have seen a totally different like QB1, and they would have been like, all right, you're gonna sit, you're gonna learn. So
that is
obviously
true. I mean,
they think he's ready.
it would have been good if maybe we could have kept like Daniel Jones. Maybe see how he would have panned out. But I mean, just from the money aspect of it, how much it would have cost to keep him around. I mean, Sam Darnold's going to cost you a pretty penny. So
I mean,
even
I
though
would
he's brilliant.
have rather picked up Jordan Hall, fucking brought Hall back, and I would have told Lizard Neck.
Yeah.
I would have told Lizard Neck Daniel Jones he needs to take his Geico ass back to PetSmart, jump back in the tank.
Hall would have been good to come back. But I don't know where he's at right now. I don't know if he's still. I mean, he went.
I don't know either.
He went to
It's just
Cleveland,
like,
didn't he, for like the practice squad and some shit like that?
Dude, I would have at least kept him on the fucking practice squad, man. Fucking, you get rid of him, and you're just like, yeah, we can do away with Rippin.
Yeah, I didn't get that. We drafted him like two.
The former Bears fucking QB3. They're just like, oh, Bears got rid of him. I think we can have some use for him.
I mean, we threw Hall. I mean, we drafted him 2 years ago, and then we basically
we didn't even give him no chance. I mean, the dude came in for one game, like couple plays. He looked fucking hot, and then all of a sudden got fucking popped. He had that concussion.
And then when we threw him against Green Bay's defense,
and he got fucking killed.
They caught fire. I mean, I think anybody would have got battered against that defense right there.
But I was just like, I mean,
I agree. You didn't get a fair shake.
At some point, they should have fucking pulled Hall out of that Green Bay game. So letting the fucking kid go down with the ship the way he did. Yeah. He really wasn't ready for a game like that. I would have looked at Nick Mullins and said, "Look, dude, your bitch ass is playing all four quarters."
But at the same time, I don't think anybody.
I'm not throwing my young guy in there to get fucked up.
But at the same time, I don't think anybody really expected Green Bay's defense to catch fire like that. They caught fire. Unfortunately, he felt the wrath of it. So In the right
Hold
column.
on, Colin.
What is going on, gentlemen? How are we doing?
We're doing good. We're talking about the Vikings backup quarterback and what would be a good backup and what we should have done, what we didn't do, and
Yeah, I was talking about how it didn't make sense to get rid of Jordan Hall and then pick up the Bears leftover fucking crumbs with Rippin.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You broke up a little bit there. I know you said backup quarterbacks.
Yeah.
we're talking about how we had Jaron Hall and we didn't really give him a fair shake, and now I don't even know where he's at right now. It'd be nice to have him as the backup to JJ McCarthy. So
I think he's a practice squad player if he's available. He's familiar with the system. I would not have him as a reliable backup for JJ McCarthy. I would rather have a veteran. It seems like Flacco would make a lot of sense, but I don't think they're going to sign anybody regardless until after the draft because they want to keep their compensatory picks in order. Once the draft is over, then they won't be penalized anything by doing that. I would also consider drafting a quarterback. I don't know if we've necessarily got a lot of capital. I think with all the moves that they've made, which have been plentiful, I think that what I would probably do is trade down a little bit in the first round, unless there's somebody who's just outwardly punching them right in the face at 24. But
do you think that at first, when you really think about it, a lot of great quarterbacks, Tom Brady was like, what was it, like a fifth or sixth rounder?
sixth rounder at 199, yeah.
Yes. So that's the thing right there. I mean, sometimes the first, second rounders for the quarterbacks aren't always that great,
They're not. They're not. But what I would consider, because I hate giving the Packers credit, but I mean, if you look back in their past, the way that they've developed quarterbacks, like you can never have too many in a room. I don't know about Brett Rippon. I mean, is he really a viable option? Like, it's almost like when you were looking at, it was almost like when you're looking at Sean Mannion. It's like, you really, even Mullins, like, are you really thinking you're going to go with any of those guys? Like, I don't care if they're friends with Kevin O'Connell. Like, I don't care. Like,
I don't care if they were friends with Kirk Cousins back in the day.
That's why I said it would have been nice to have Daniel Jones as the backup, and then maybe Jaron Hall, but we didn't go
Hall would cost virtually nothing to me. Jaron Hall is a practice squad player. He never really graduated. I mean, he was kind of, even when they picked him, I was like, I wasn't really sold on that. If I were the Vikings, I would maybe. Again, I'd look at Flacco. I mean, I still think Aaron Rodgers is still kind of lurking. I mean, again, this is another one where you don't want to screw up your compensatory picks. Like I was telling Tunney, I thought that trading down and getting future draft capital to me would make a lot of sense. Because I feel like we've only got 4 picks in this draft, and they signed pretty much every position that we needed. I mean, I still think there's another deal in the works. I don't think they would have did the Bradbury thing to just have more cap space for this year for not any real reason. I'm not sure if it's for Aaron Rodgers. I'm not totally sure. I would keep an eye on 2 names, and I know that they're popping around on Purple Daily, but Sauce Gardner and Tyreek Hill would be 2 guys that I would be very curious, because I think Sauce wants out of the Jets because really the Jets are just a dumpster fire.
I think you and I talked about him possibly coming to Minnesota. I think it would be a good fit for him. I remember you and I were talking about it one time.
It would be terrific fit. It would be a terrific fit because not only that, but you got Blackman coming back. You got Murphy signed, so you got your veteran guy. I don't think he's a true number 1, but he played well. Like I said, what they got for what Kwesi lacks in draftability man, he makes up for it in free agency. Like Brzezinski has always been a really good cap guy, but Kwesi seems to be able to know where the pulse is. Now, if they trade another pick for Cam Akers, I'm going to fire Kwesi Adolfo-Mensa. Like, how many years in a row can you trade a pick? I mean, if Cam Akers signs to somebody else and they trade a 7th-round pick next year, I think I will try to fly up to Minnesota and strangle him, because that will be 3 years in a row that we've traded for Cam Akers. And
I'll go half on your ticket too. So,
thank you. Yeah. Well, the Jordan Mason move, that was a move of sheer brilliance. I mean, to be able to get a guy like that is just a brilliant move. It's a brilliant move. I would also, and I know this is probably a little bit more out of left field, and this is not something that I heard on Purple Daily, but this is something that I had thought about. What about Trey Hendrickson? If you're filling up all that space, you get a D line of Jonathan Allen, Javon Hargrave, and Trey Hendrickson. That is the kind of move that puts you in Super Bowl contention. Now, I would much rather have Sauce Gardner. That I would rather have. And Tyreek Hill, I feel like you could get Sauce and Tyreek, to me, because I mean, what would Tyreek cost at his salary? Like, what would Tyreek cost? Because Sauce is still on his rookie contract, and Tyreek, Miami's going to have to pay a fortune of his salary to get out of that contract. And really, how many more years is Tyreek going to go? I mean, you're not going to have Addison for the first couple of games for suspension. How many more years is Tyreek going to go? 1, 2, maybe? I mean, the iron is hot right now for the Vikings to be able to do something like that. I mean, I remember back in 2008, very similar situation. I remember us trading, being very, very quiet about who we were going after. And boom, we ended up with Jared Allen.
Yep.
The guy who wanted out of Kansas City.
That was like left field.
Totally out of left field. Nobody had any scoop on it. Yep. So I think like a Sauce Gardner.
And that's what Bernard Berry in that year too.
And that was the first domino to fall for the fucking 09. Well,
they already had the big guys. They already had Kevin and Pat. So I mean, getting a guy like Allen was just like, whoa. Like that was totally out of left field. And he was, I mean, I think he had a DUI, or he had something going on in Kansas City where he was considered somewhat untradeable. But I was like, wow. And there you go, Insta Hall of Famer right there. So I think Sauce is right at that age. I like Sauce in that draft. I think we talked about that even before he got drafted. I was like, we need to trade up for him. Why not?
Now, another name I've been hearing is Quentin Nelson.
Yep, I heard the same thing. But how many more guys can we steal from the Colts is the question. Are we going to steal their entire interior offensive line?
He's the last guy.
Yeah.
And do you think we were talking about Jeff Okudah because we did pick him up? Do you think that he'll be a corner, or do you think he's moving over to safety?
That's a good question. I think they're going to try and work him as corner. I mean, with the way that B-Flow does it, I feel like they don't. It's almost like positional secondary. Because I mean, you look at like a Metellus, and he was just like a weapon. He was just weapon Metellus. And then you have Harrison still there for one more year. I wouldn't be stunned if they drafted a safety high up in this draft. That Nick Amamori from South Carolina would be a nice add.
Or Malachi Starks.
Malachi Starks, yeah. I like Amamori a little bit more, just because he's a bigger guy.
I wouldn't be mad at either of them.
No, not at all. I will say this though: if Ashton Jonty is sitting there, I'm running. Oh I'm sprinting to the booth. That will be the quickest. And I would do it, and I'd give like the D-Generation X to all of the Packers fans, just to stick it to them. If Jonty was there, I don't think he will be, but. Hey, Bill. No, it would. I would be running, especially having being Green Bay. I know I kidded with a couple of the pack. I've hopped on their Packers show a couple of times, and I kind of kidded with them that like, hey, I think the Vikings are just waiting till draft day and having Shefty drop a bomb right before the draft and say the Vikings are in negotiations and are in process of signing Aaron Rodgers to a 1-year deal right on draft day in Green Bay. That would just
But
full circle.
but he wants a lot of money, and that's kind of the thing right there. I just
The
what is it
Vikings
he wants?
the Vikings can offer one thing that no other team in the NFL can that needs a quarterback. We play the Packers twice. We play them twice. And I think Rodgers is so much more of a vindictive guy that I think he would value that more than money.
You think so? Okay. I mean,
He's played forever. He's 41. I mean, he's got $500 million. Like, how much more money do you need? But having that state of mind to do that would be amazing.
But weren't they saying that he wanted like a 3-year, $100 million deal?
Well, I want a toilet made of solid gold, but probably just not going to be in the cards.
He said Rodgers don't want that smoke.
What smoke? What smoke, Bill? What smoke?
Hop on, tell us what smoke there, Billy boy.
What smoke would you be referring to, good sir?
Smoke that comes out
Maybe
of
like
his
Brett
chin.
Favre smoke? Are they going to have to close down the Aaron Rodgers hookah stand over by the
smoke that comes
park?
out of his chin? That's the smoke he's talking about. I don't know what he's talking about.
See, well, what I think with Aaron Rodgers, what needs to happen for him to make up his mind, he needs to go to the dispensary, load up on the edible brownies, and just fall asleep in a dark cave somewhere in South America. Wake up right before training camp's over around fucking August.
Maybe he's trying to get with Winona Ryder, seeing as Winona Ryder is from Minnesota. Maybe he's trying to get with her. I mean, I heard he likes the old ladies, so
that's
be a good call.
He just needs to pull up Brett Favre to show up in fucking August, coming off the jet.
Get the jet, get the jet fuel.
We're just talking about fucking Jared Allen being on left field. That was kind of out of left field too. Him showing up in August.
Oh, the Favre thing I saw coming. I mean, when you just had Sage Rosenfeld signed, something was afoot. I had zero doubt on that one. I mean, I think it was more the realization that they were actually signing him. That was like, are they really signing Brett Favre? Are they really doing it? And sure enough, you see him get off of that private jet and he's got that Vikings hat on. It's like, what in the hell is going on? Like that was such a surreal moment as a fan. Like you can't put any words to that. So
well, Colin, what do you think? How do you think we're going to do in the draft? What do you think we're going to be drafting? Offensive line, corner, defense?
I think it depends on what their strategy is, because if they isolate a BPA right there, I would maybe be looking left guard, but left guard in the first round seems a little high. I mean, yeah, well, I think Booker might be gone by that point. The guy who I like is Gray Zabel from North Dakota State. Yeah, he's got some versatility, and I think he's the kind of guy where he could maybe start playing left guard. And like if O'Neal has a setback, you could move him over to right tackle. So
bullshit. We'll draft a quarterback in the 5th round.
I mean, you guys already paid your quarterback $256 million, and how is that going to probably be working out for you? Maybe you should invest in some wide receivers that actually have hands. Just a thought. I mean, right now you have 5 wide receivers that would be starting cornerbacks on half of the bad teams in the NFL. Why? Because they're freakishly athletic, but can't catch chlamydia from a tie hooker. So that's what happens.
Those guys would be under my 4th string.
Realize he's in the chat right now on a video call, and he's talking trash to us at the same time. He's not really talking trash, but he's throwing a few cheap shots. So we're gonna draft the quarterback.
Well, if it's coming from Bill, it's got to be cheap, so it's all good.
Yeah, it is. It is.
It is 0.01%
Not
ownership.
too bad he's decent. It's our wide receivers. He said we have 2 wide receivers and no QB. Interesting, Bill. We have
We got
4.
three wide receivers.
Interesting, Bill. We have 4 wide receivers and a quarterback.
I did like the Rondale Moore pickup. I thought that was kind of sneaky. I mean, you didn't have to really give up anything for him. Somebody had been talking to me about how, well, was this going to happen with Brandon Powell? I said, honestly, I don't know if I would get rid of Powell, but Naylor might be in a little bit of trouble right now. As much as I really have always liked Naylor, he had some bad drops at the end of the year. So
I think this actually benefits Naylor because they don't have to use Naylor in the return game. You use a fast guy like Rondale.
Well, we didn't use him in the return game though. Powell was more a return game than Naylor.
He used him in fucking Green Bay, and he fucking looked up.
Oh, it's terrific! Yeah, he completely put Green Bay back in the game. That's true.
Yeah, but that son was literally in his face. He should. I guess he should let the ball go. Is what he should have done.
He should have let it go. There was only 10 seconds left in the half.
Yeah.
And then his fucking excuses all of the sun was demised. Then wear a fucking visor, dude.
Or just let the ball go.
Right.
We're up by 4 touchdowns. Like, why are you just letting that ball go? It didn't make any sense, but whatever. We still ended up winning that game. So what are you gonna do?
But I think having Rondale as a returner than fucking Powell would. I think that's
Rondale to me is the kind of guy that you can. I mean, like, let's hypothetically say they get tight. Let's hypothetically play spoiler and say they get Tyreek Hill. You can use who's going to cover Rondale Moore when you have Hill, Addison, and Jefferson on the field. Who in the hell is going to even come close to Rondale Moore?
Correct.
Maybe the
have
defensive
Deion
tackle.
Sanders like in every position covering those guys.
Rondale reminds me a lot of like a Percy Harvin kind of a player.
Yep.
Like, he's the kind of guy that you can kind of move around, and the poor man's Percy Harvin. I mean, you can kind of move around. I mean, I remember watching him when he was at Purdue. He was outstanding. I mean, he was a second-round pick, so he was outstanding to me. I thought that was a really sneaky pickup. I think Jordan Mason was, honestly, for what we gave for him, I think that was the best pickup we had. I mean, we addressed needs everywhere else, but that was, to me, that was like, wow. Whew.
At that point, Quezzy robbed them at gunpoint and was like, I want your running back.
I mean, he looked good. He was the one bright spot when we played the 49ers last year, and 49ers offensive line was deteriorating. So I think getting Fries, getting Ryan Kelly, I thought was kind of out of nowhere too. I was not expecting that move either. But
I mean,
Quasy's
seeing Travarius Ward going to Indianapolis after Sam Darnold throwing that bomb to Jefferson, it was kind of like his high note to get the fuck out of there.
Ward's a good corner. I mean, corners get beat. I mean, it happens. It's not like you're never going to throw at the ball at him. I mean, it's going to happen. I mean, Sauce got beat. So, I mean, it's not as though that this doesn't happen. It's just, you know, if people always talk about like stats like interception. This is why Byron Murphy re-signing, I was like, I mean, they showed the stats for the coverages for, I think they threw the ball 46 times at Sauce Gardner last year, and I think they threw it like 156 at Byron Murphy. So Byron Murphy's got that many more opportunities to make interceptions. So I don't know necessarily if interceptions are a stat as opposed to just, it's like Rudy Gobert. Like, people just will stop going to the hoop when they see them, or they'll turn around and go the other way. It's very similar to how a shutdown corner works. Like, Darrelle Revis didn't have huge interception numbers either.
Right.
So I think having a guy like that, it just makes it easier for everybody. So
yeah, and we all know what happens when Byron Murphy's under pressure. The guy's already 20 miles ahead of him, and he's like still back there trying to fucking play catch up. It's like, dude, he's not running right now.
He's still good. He's still good. He had a breakout year. I'm not gonna smack talk Murphy too much. He had a great year, but
Yeah.
you got to keep it into context because we had two very veteran corners in Gilmore and Griffin last year. I wouldn't mind them bringing back Griffin, to be totally honest with you. I think he played pretty steady.
Yeah,
I think Gilmore's going to retire, but yeah, I mean, I would maybe look corner in the draft too. There's a few guys out there. I'm a big fan of Dorian Strong out of Virginia Tech. I'm a fan of it's a kid from Iowa State, Porter. I like him a lot. I think his name's Darian Porter. He's a really big guy. I think that's what they were that's what they're aiming for with the whole Kyrie Jackson thing last year, was having kind of a bigger corner to be able to body up some of the bigger wide receivers. So
Right. Unfortunately, his life was cut short. Yeah.
dumb drunk driving. Yep.
Yeah.
It's crazy how that works. But
Well,
what do you guys think about the running back market? I mean, I feel like now they're going to draft a running back. They are. I mean, they say that they're not going to. Like, this draft is too loaded with running back to completely pass it up. And I get who you signed and re-signed, but I think you need to get that young back for the future.
right. No, you're right. Because Aaron Jones is just a 1 year. He's a 2-year deal, right?
2-year deal, but they have an option at the end of the year, so it's not something that's pressing.
Right.
Have you guys paying attention to some of the backs that are going to be in this draft? Is there anybody one that sticks out to you two?
For me,
I
it's
don't pay attention to college. I couldn't tell you.
For me, it's Trevor Etienne. I like him. I like Trevion Henderson, and I like Jukins.
Check-ins, the two Ohio State guys.
2 Ohio State guys and the Georgia guy.
Okay. I mean, that the Georgia guy you could probably get way late. The 2 Ohio State guys I feel like are in that second, third round, maybe fourth. I mean, I wouldn't slide on it. Scadaboo's an interesting one. That's an interesting one.
I put him at fullback and let him just Mike Allstott that shit.
Yeah. I mean, he kind of fits that mold. RJ Harvey is kind of a quiet guy out of UCF that he's got that kind of Maurice Jones-Drew build to him. I feel like he could be somebody. Obviously, Jonty is the come of class. Caleb Johnson from Iowa, I think that's going to be a higher pick, but he could be somebody that maybe if it slips to the third, I might hop on that. I still feel like the 3 positions high in the draft they need to look at, I guess, are safety. I mean, if it's one of the two, if it's Starks or Imamori, I'm okay with that. But I feel like you could get one of those two by trading down a little bit in the first round and picking up an extra pick. But I would still draft defensive tackle. I still would. If Kenneth Grant is there, if Walter Nolan is there. Let me think of the other one. Deion Walker. That's my guy. Walker from Kentucky. That guy is just a man-child. I feel like the guys that they signed in Hargrave and Allen are a little bit older, but I mean, if you get some young depth with these guys, then you can just walk it right in after a year or two. Like the 2 years or however long their contract is, you got these guys, marinating and rotating. You've got them for 10. You got them for 10 years. So I feel like you could draft 1, maybe 2 defensive tackles. So
you like that, Broski?
It is. I think Allstott was a little bit bigger than Scadaboo, but Scadaboo's got a lot of talent. But yeah, I mean, it just kind of depends. I mean, I feel like Jordan Mason's kind of a plow running back, and I feel like Jones is kind of the thunder and lightning there. But having a guy like Trevion Henderson maybe might be the guy that kind of combines both the best, and it can be got at a certain level. It just depends on how fast the running backs goes. I think teams are starting to now value the running back position more now that you see the career renaissance of guys like, I mean, Aaron Jones last year for the Vikings in a lesser role, but like Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry, like these big name guys.
Jonathan Taylor.
Other teams, yeah. I mean, all these guys
Jacobs
went to
in
other
Green Bay,
teams.
yeah,
Joe Mixon. I mean, all these guys are talented. And they moved on and were big parts of, I mean, you got to win with running in the postseason. So you got to have something going with that.
I agree.
I just hope that in the draft, maybe we get some good deep offensive line guys because, if we're going to throw J.J. McCarthy to the Wolves, let's make sure he's got some good pass protection. So,
well, I think they did a pretty good job in free agency with it. I mean,
they did, yeah.
I think they did an extremely good job. Another guy that I would look at maybe later in the, I mean, Jarrett Wilson, the center from Georgia, is definitely somebody. I think he's the top center in the draft. But another guy that I feel like you could get later if you were to trade down and get some extra late picks is a guy named Jake Majors out of Texas. He's got a really mean disposition to him, and he's a guy who could sit behind Kelly for a couple of years. I feel like Juergens is still there too. I think there's other people that are a little lower on him, but I feel like they maybe are going to try and give him a shot somewhere. I feel like if you could get a rotational guy on the interior of the offensive line, the more depth that you can have, the better. I still like Walter Rouse too. I feel like Rouse is somebody you could maybe move over to guard and just have him be like that Mekhi Becton. He's got the Mekhi Becton size.
Right.
So maybe moving him inside to guard might not be a bad thing too. Jonas Savaiinaea, I think, from Arizona is a nice guard in the draft too. I love the draft, so I'm a big stupid draft nerd and I do that mock drafting stuff all the time.
No, that's good. That's good.
I enjoy it thoroughly.
Oh, that's good because, like I said, I don't pay attention to college. I probably should, but
yeah, I'm still making the call that Arch Manning will be a New Orleans Saint, and not this draft, but the next draft. I'm making the call that the Saints are tanking the season, and they are going to take Arch Manning with the first pick next season.
Arch Manning. So that would be the son of
Cooper.
Cooper.
The son of Cooper.
That's the one who does the NFL pregame show stuff.
Yeah, he's done a couple of ads for like Caesars with Peyton and Eli. But
it's really fun to watch the Peyton and Eli Monday Night Football thing. Actually, I enjoy watching that.
It is fun. It's more fun than watching some of the other people that do the.
Troy.
I don't need to hear from Kirk Herbstreit on Thursday Night Football. I don't need a college football guy doing NFL. I don't know who.
Even Troy and Joe, I'm like, I'm tired of them.
No, Joe's always hated the Vikings, so
yeah,
he always has. Even though the irony of him having his most iconic call was the Vikings game with Stephon Diggs, and his father, Jack Buck, his most iconic call was the Game 6 home run by Kirby Puckett in the 91 World Series.
Puckett, that's right, yeah.
It's so funny that even though these guys just cannot stand Minnesota, somehow they make their most iconic calls when the Minnesota team steps up.
Remember, what was it, the Randy Moss Moon thing?
Yeah, that's the irony of it. That's the most disgusting. I'm like, do you even know what the Packers fans do to the opposing bus when they come in? Yep. You obviously don't know the story of the fact that the Green Bay Packers fans moon the bus when they come in, just like Slapshot. They moon the bus in the back. So
I remember Tony Dungy saying, like, they sometimes they get really racial. They make racial comments.
Not surprising.
Yeah, so
not surprising.
No, not at all.
Yes, sir. Love the college football.
Hey, Broski, are you from White Bear? That's the White Bear Lake High School logo. So I'm just curious. Are you from White Bear, Broski?
No, he's just a Chicago Bears fan.
Chicago Bears fan?
My thing. I think I might have one.
Yeah, he's a Bear fan.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was talking on the Packers broadcast the other day. I said the only way that the Chicago Bears will ever win the Super Bowl again is if NASA somehow manages to resurrect the shuttle program and somehow sends up a shuttle and they have it explode on live TV. That is the only time the Bears will ever win a Super Bowl ever again. And I know that's morbid, but they all laughed. They thought it was funny. It's a city outside of St. Paul. But if you're a Chicago Bears fan, then I get it. So that's fine.
Yeah, I don't think he's familiar with Minnesota.
That's cool. You are. You know where White Bear Lake is, so
Yeah.
Well, okay, so we've got draft, but we got 4 draft picks here. I will make my predictions for what I think we will do. With the 24th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Minnesota Vikings will select Nick Amamori, the safety from South Carolina. With their 3rd round pick, and maybe this is hope more than anything else, 97th pick, the Vikings select defensive tackle Dayon Walker from Kentucky. And with their 2 picks that they have left, assuming they do not trade down, center Jake Majors from Texas. And a wild card, I think his name is Traquan Thornton, wide receiver from Tennessee. But that's about it. I like Dorian Strong, though, too, so we'll see how it goes.
All right, guys, it's about that time. Got to wrap it up here. I want to thank you guys both for coming on the show.
Yep.
Excellent show tonight. Broski, Bill, thanks for your comments. As always, the Skol Gang 365, we're jotting off. We'll be here next Saturday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. Skol.
Skol, baby.
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.